Hi, I'm Ross Collins, and this is Becca Mitchell. She works for WTKR. It's Channel 3, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what she does there. Hello, Becca.
Hi.
Can you tell us what you do at Channel 3?
Yes, I'm an online producer.
Mm-hmm.
Regular producers write for the shows that you see on air every day. I write for our websites and social media.
Okay. So, how did you get into the journalism profession?
Um, I went to Virginia Commonwealth University as a broadcast journalism major.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was a great program. And after 4 years, I graduated and I started out in radio. I spent 3 years in radio. I worked for a radio show in the mornings in Richmond, and I worked for a rock station, a top 40 station, a couple different genres of music before I decided to make the switch to news. I came to Norfolk and I started at WTKR in 2009 as a production assistant, which my job role there was to kind of be a stage manager. I worked audio, I worked teleprompter sometimes, and I was an editor for a little while. So I did a lot of things behind the scenes of the news. And then I was able to make the switch to the position I'm in now as an online producer role.
So, you went to VCU.
Right.
And you were always a broadcast journalism major.
Yes. I declared my major as an incoming freshman.
So you have always pretty much known that you were going to do this.
Yeah. There was never any other major that I wanted. I've always wanted to be... I love writing and TV, obviously, so it kind of seemed like a good idea.
Well, that's good. So, in the online producer role, what exactly is your role in the newsroom?
Well, there's a lot of obviously different roles in the newsroom. There are online producers, there are regular producers, there are the reporters, the anchors, assignment desk editors. What I do, like I said previously, is to write stories for our websites and our social media and keep track of all those things. Anything that you see on air will be added to our websites, but there's also a lot of news that goes on outside of the 30-minute block that you see in the news. And we're responsible for writing those things up and making sure they go up on our websites. And I'm sure you've noticed just in your own time when you look at a news website, there's a lot more content than what you would see on TV. And you can usually see something on TV and then go right to the website and see more. We do the more.
Mm-hmm. So do you find that you get a little bit more freedom in what stories are being presented? Maybe you could write a little bit more about something that interests you personally.
Absolutely. I get to write pretty freely. There's nobody holding puppet strings over me telling me what to write. I make sure that all of the content that we need to have is up, but all the other time of the day, I'm looking for content to fill. I don't want to put a bunch of fluff on our websites. I try and look for real news. But, yeah, I get a lot of freedom in choosing to write what I want to write about. Absolutely.
Right. That's great. So how are the stories for the on-air broadcast chosen each day?
Sure. Every morning we have a pitch meeting. Our news director, our assistant news director, the assignment desk editor, all of the show's producers for the day, the 2 online producers that work, and all of the reporters and anchors go into one room in the morning. We're all expected to come in with story ideas. I spend the majority of the night before looking for stories for that meeting. And we each go around the room and pitch our stories. Our news director will choose typically what stories she'll give out to reporters to cover. So I'd say during the day we have probably 6 reporters. We've got, on a good day, 20 stories to choose from. We make sure we have any follow-up stories from the day before on the plate to begin with, and our news director doles them out to whoever is necessary. Here in this area, we have a large viewing area to cover. It's one of the largest, actually, in the country, so we try and get one reporter in each area. We like to have somebody in the biggest city. We like to have somebody up a little bit further. We like to have somebody out in the Outer Banks and somebody a little bit further west, just because the area is so large. And we do have a lot of people, if we tend to cluster together, that will complain about what we choose to cover. So it's a little bit difficult and different in this area compared to a lot of other places that I've worked. So there's a lot that goes into choosing the stories that a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So Hampton Roads being such a large area, and you've given us a little bit of the information about some of the other people who work in the newsroom altogether. Who would you say has the toughest job?
I think our assistant news director probably has the toughest job. Our news director, she's the boss. She's the boss lady. The assistant news director is the boss lady when the boss lady isn't there. But when the boss lady's there, she gets all the flack.
Right.
She kind of gets the dirty jobs handed down to her. She's got to make sure everybody's in the place where they need to be. She's got to make sure that everybody's getting the stories and the information they need to get. She runs around like a crazy person, and I would not want to have her job on any given day.
Well, all right. Well, I think that's all the time we got right now. You've given us a lot of information. Appreciate it a lot. Thanks for stopping by. But before you go, if anyone has any more questions about pursuing a job or a career in journalism, do you know where they could go just to get started?
Yeah, if you look on your local news networks websites, there's a lot of job opportunities there. I'd say if you are in college and you're looking for a job at a news station, seek out an internship at a local news network. If you're interested in news, email any of the reporters and anchors at your local stations and network.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. It's Ross Collins, and this is Becca Mitchell.